Corporate recruiter here to review your resumes. This is a resume of, I don't know, you didn't tell me. They said SDE, SWE, MLE, internship positions. No, you need to pick one. If you do this, you will fail. This goes for everybody, not just software engineers. I want to be clear. If you're not specific about the job title you tailor your resume to, you will fail. You don't want to tailor your resume to each job. You want to tailor to the job title you're going for, because a software engineer and a machine learning engineer are going to need different qualifications. Same with an intern. So what I'm going to do is reach into my bag of dice, and I'm going to pull out this D6. If this is a 1, we're doing software engineer, 1 to 2 software engineer, 3 to 4 machine learning engineer, 5 to 6, it's going to be my choice, I guess, internship. So 5, we are going to review this as, I don't know, let's say Python developer. It's like one of the most common ones as a Python developer. So usually I do, well, actually that in full stack. So, but I haven't done a Python in a little bit. So we're going to put this as a Python developer. Now, hold on, you might be saying, Lee, I don't have experience with Python. Well, you did not tell me what you did, and this is why you're already failing. You need to make sure your resume is specific to the job title. If you don't, you will fail. That is like rule number 2 or 3 after making sure to put your contact information. So what I'm looking for specifically for a Python software engineer is Python, SQL, Docker, Cloud, and any of its words, RESTful APIs, Agile, Git, CI/CD, and then one of these, so full stack or AI or DevOps or Fast API, Flask, and Django, and a bonus for Kubernetes, ETL, MongoDB, and Java. So, can I find that in 20 seconds? Because it's the only amount of time recruiters have, and this formatting is a nightmare. I haven't even started yet. And go. What is this? Okay. Migrated team name modules. I don't care about that. I mean, kind of Docker and Kubernetes, but where's the Python? Okay, daemon sets, Einstein agent hump. So this is agentic, not What are you? Optimize Apex classes, service cloud. What cloud? All right, end time. Yeah, this is not the worst resume I've ever seen in my life, not by far, but this is pretty darn bad. So this would definitely get yeeted and deleted. What did this person say? Did my bachelor's in India, and now I'm in the United States and am a U.S. citizen fresh out of college. Looking for new grad or internship openings. You're out of college, you're not going to get internships. Haven't been shortlisted once so far, gotten 0 interviews. I'm unsure if there's something wrong with my formatting, yes, or if my experience is just on the lower end of the bell curve. I don't know what you are. Your experience isn't on the lower end. Your experience is entirely a nightmare to read. This is a resume problem. Don't take this personally. It's just none of this makes sense. Would love to hear your feedback. Also, should I add any more projects and get rid of the publication sector? You need to delete this resume and do it again. Thank you again for helping with this. You're a lifesaver. Okay, so there's a lot wrong with this. But first off, your formatting. You need to use this formatting. This is legible. I don't care if you're an accountant, a software engineer, or sales. You need to use this. The only times you don't want to use this is if you're a manager, not product or project, a manager of people, like high-level director, or you're doing primarily contract work. Then this formatting doesn't work. But for everybody else, this works. So, this is how you do it. This is a nightmare. This is legible. Okay. Then what you need to do is pick a stack. Pick a job title. Pick multiple job titles. And tailor your resume to each of them. You may need 3 to 5 resumes. You may need 1 for back-end Python developer, 1 for full stack, 1 for agentic engineer, 1 for, what else did you look for? I don't even know. There's so many here. What else? Another for machine learning engineer and another for front end. But you need to be specific. If your resume is not tailored to a job title, not the job itself, the title of a job, you will fail. And then you use that job title resume to mass apply. So then we get to the point of what do you actually do? And here's another thing that is uniquely your situation. If you are a U.S. citizen, which is what you said, and you had experience in India, which is fine, you may face discrimination. And I really, really, really wish I would say, oh, recruiters are perfect, there's going to be no discrimination. And I don't discriminate, but there's a reason we have those laws. So what you're going to want to do is put U.S. citizen in the area that you put it in. That way, even though they see that you were from India, you will still say U.S. citizen. And I wish the world was a place where we didn't have to do that, but at least this way it'll help you personally. So then we get to the bullet points, because none of the rest of this matters unless these bullet points are good. I need you to back this all the way up. These people have no idea what the heck you're talking about. What is an open source search dashboard? What is a Fluent-based logging operator? What is a team name modules or a service cloud or a SOQL queries, not SQL queries, or intelligent AI router? Nobody's going to understand what any of this means. Look, you may call me an idiot, and that's fine, but please write your resume like I was. And I lower my tech knowledge for these reviews because I want to make sure that, like, people who don't know tech that are recruiting for this are able to pass your resume. But even I, with my experience as an above average tech recruiter, I don't fully know what half of this stuff is. I've recruited a lot of software engineers, and I don't know what you do. I see a little bit of agentic stuff, but not enough that I would move you forward for an agent role. Kubernetes is nice, but there's no back end or front end for me to put it on. Normally be back end or full stack. CI/CD is also great, but there's nothing else. Like you basically did nothing. Like, this shows nothing. I'm leaning towards specifically AI, but even then I don't see where you did PyTorch or LangChain or whatever. And oh, it's down here. Cool. This doesn't count. This doesn't count. It needs to be in the bullet points. If it's not in the bullet points, it doesn't count. It does not count if it's not in the bullet points. You cannot just say this. This doesn't count. So this resume needs to be deleted and yeeted, or yeeted and deleted, because this is why you're having problems. Is everything is wrong with this. The bullet points are bad. The formatting's bad. And you're probably going to face discrimination, which I wish you didn't. But you need to tailor it to the job title, because this, I don't even know how to help you beyond that, because this is so broad as to be useless. So I'm not trying to say this to be mean. I'm not saying this person is useless. I want to be clear. I'm just saying their resume is. Your resume is not indicative of how good you are at a job or your worth. It's just a piece of paper that shows that you did stuff. That's like it. So that's all I can do for this. That's all I can do for this resume. Please like, comment, subscribe. If you have any friends or family members that need help, submit them to me. Tell them to watch my stuff. I'll help them get a job. I get people routinely coming to my Twitch chat about how they got jobs because of my methodology every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of no, don't do this. You're not a data scientist or a software engineer. You're a data scientist. You can't do both. The resume that is good for both of them will fail to get you interviews. You need a resume for data scientists and a resume for a software engineer. And when you pick a software engineer, you need to pick a stack. You need to pick a stack. I don't know what stack you're going for, but it needs to be front end, back end, full stack. And if it's back end, it needs to be Python or C#, .NET, or Java. Yes, there's more, but those are the most common ones. So for a data scientist, because I'm not even going to look at this as a software engineer, we need degree, Python, R, SQL, data in all its forms, so data modeling, data analytics, blah, blah, blah. The industry, there's going to be some industry-specific qualifications that I'm just going to be able to miss because, I'm not in every industry, so like healthcare and SDLC are all going to want slightly different things. Explaining stuff to non-technical folks, that is key. You need to show me how you explain complex topics to people that are not technical. Influence stakeholders, cross-functional cloud, AWS, GCP, Azure, Microsoft Office applications, Word, blah, 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 Google Sheets, AI, just a little bit, Spark, Skibbity, Learn, Pandas, NumPy, dashboards, data visualizations, ETL, Tableau, Power BI. So, can I find it in 20 seconds? Let's find out. And, nope, started too early, and go. Okay, can't use anything here. Okay, degree, okay. Global leading corporate specialized in communications and mobile. Initially joined the cloud network where I worked for, optimization, ML. Okay, so there's a little bit of AI. All right, yeah, no, this would get deleted. I don't see how that's related. All right. So this person stated, I want to land senior roles now. I do get interviews for mid, senior, junior roles, but I need to know what I should change to make it more readable for senior roles. So first off, I am a US-based recruiter. My advice has gotten people jobs in Canada, Africa, EU, UK, and Australia, and I think Mexico. I'm not sure. And the US, obviously. But the fact is, I am a US-based recruiter, and sometimes this stuff does not translate to other countries. It just doesn't. I cannot be in every market, unfortunately. So maybe this is really, really good in Hungary. I don't know. But I'm going to have to review this as if I was a US-based recruiter, and I hope it is accurate to Hungary's job market. So I don't want any of this stuff. None of this stuff is what I need. And if you're looking for senior level roles, you need to, again, are you a data scientist or are you a software engineer? I need one or the other, right? You listing all this stuff out doesn't work, but maybe because the job market in Hungary is smaller, it does. Again, I can't judge this as if it was Hungary because I don't have that industry knowledge. So I need you to be specific. I need you to break this down into multiple resumes, and then I need you to fix the formatting. And if you're looking for senior roles, I also need to know if you're looking for like lead roles, because then I want to see how you coached others, gave performance reviews and that kind of thing, or if you're just more speaking with stakeholders for a senior role that does not involve leadership. So that's what's holding you back, is your resume has a little bit of everything. So people see this and they're like, all right, whatever. But if they're looking for a senior dev or a senior data scientist, you don't show enough in any one particular mastery to be moved forward if the markets are the same. So that's all I could do. Again, there's really not much I can do because of the differences in that. And let's go to the next resume. This is a resume of an HR coordinator / HR generalist. They kind of have the same qualifications. Also, ignore the weird formatting on this resume. I think they tried to make sure that their information was not public, and it messed up all the formatting, so I'm not going to judge them based on those weird formatting errors. For the other formatting, I will. So what we need for an HR coordinator / generalist is HRIS platforms. Again, this is human resource information systems. So Workday would be one. And a lot of people have a problem with Workday, not because it's an ATS, but because it's an HRIS. Because when an HRIS and an ATS come together, they create a nightmare of a product. HRIS platform, Microsoft Office, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, number of employees your past company have had, ballpark it. You don't have to be exactly correct, but if you're the HR coordinator for 2 people versus 200 to 2,000, that's a big difference. And that's one of the few times you want numbers in your resume. HR best practices and employment law, employee relations, staffing and payroll, talent acquisition, industry, ATS, bonus for HR certification. So those are what I'm looking for. This person's resume, which again is how often it takes you to get an interview, how many applications to interviews. Ideally, you want a minimum of 1 in 50. This person has 150 plus, so I'm sure this is a bad resume. So can I find it in 20 seconds? Let's find out. Also, quick note to everybody. While recruiters are technically a part of HR, our duties are so different, but by this point in the corporate life cycle, you probably should not consider us the same job, as HR is focused entirely on different things than recruiters are, even if recruiters have to do some of what HR does and vice versa. They are wildly different jobs. Like, I could not necessarily do an HR coordinator because I know the staffing stuff and the ATS stuff, but the rest of that is actually not something I have done in my career. So even though recruiters are a part of HR, there really shouldn't be. All right, 20 seconds and go. Okay, degree, good. Too long down here. I don't need this. Process and maintain records for 200 clients. I don't care about that. Onboarding, yeah, for new clients monthly, but calls for the case load of 7 weeks. Improving retention. I don't care about that. Scheduling 100 volunteers. Again, I'm not really looking for scheduling. I'm looking for HRIS stuff. Outreach more than 50 media outlets. All right, that is it. Yeah, this doesn't read like an HR coordinator. It looks like an admin assistant, kind of more of an admin assistant, but let's see what he said. I am a current PR background, but my current experience is account management. It's company that you probably don't want me to. State Farm. You said it right there. A lot of the time I'm doing admin work and I wish to pivot my career to be HR focused. You have picked the wrong market to do that in. Whoo, boy, that's like opening up a Blockbuster in 2024. The recruitment and HR market is worse than any other market, because you know what happens when people don't need to hire? we're the first to go. If you ever see a large amount of HR or recruiters get fired in your industry, or laid off, I should say, get laid off, you need to start remaking your resume because you're next. If you ever see a bunch of people in HR and recruitment get hired, well, congratulations, you're looking at probably an increase in pay because that means you're in a hotter market. So you can use us as the canary in the gold mine. And in fact, a lot of the problems people have with their job search right now are because there are so few of us that we don't have time to fix everything in the process. So, but yeah, I would not recommend pivoting to HR now. This is real bad time in a recession. I want to learn and apply for many different departments of HR, but my first issue is breaking in with my background, just needing some assistance how I can leverage my resume. I've only had luck with some assessment stages, AI screening, and one interview so far. Yeah, this does not read like an HR resume, right? Again, I have succeeded in getting people in HR and recruitment jobs before, so my methods work for us as well. This does not read like one. Also, your formatting is atrocious. And I don't even mean these lines here because I think this was an error. I'm talking about, like, it should look like this. Like this here, this up here. None of that should look like that. It needs to look like that. And then if you really want to get into HR, props to you. Not in this market. Would not recommend it. But I need to see you've done something with an HRIS, ideally. Like, you don't tell me what they are. Again, I can't use anything in the skills and certificates section. I don't see how you used Microsoft Office. I don't see the number of employees you managed. You say it processed account records for 200 clients, but that's really not HR stuff. Onboarding is. This one I actually like, but I need more detail than this. So instead of supported onboarding and policy servicing 50 plus clients a month, I want to see onboarded 50 plus clients monthly by X and Y, right? Like, how did you do it? It's okay to put 50 plus clients a month because that is a number they may actually want, but you need to tell me how. You can't just say, I did it. Okay, how did you do it? I did it. It's like if someone asks me, Lee, how do you recruit? I say, I recruit people. Okay, but what do? I get people hired. Okay, but how do you do that? By getting them hired. Well, what it actually is I fix the process so that their interviews run smoothly. I draft offer letters. I negotiate if needed. And I source people if we have trouble getting people to directly apply to the role. Right? Those are the differences. And that'll be stuff you may have to do. I also just don't see you've done anything in HR. Like, that's kind of my big thing is, like, why would somebody move you forward to an HR role if they don't see anything in HR? And I don't see anything in HR. You say HRIS tech and tools, HR ethics and hiring guide. Where? I don't see it. So this number is okay because I need this context. This is not. This is not. So I need you to delete this and redo it. And if I could find off the top of my head where that HR resume is, I want to see it. But I need to see I need to see how, right? If a qualification is what you did, how you did it, the reason or result of you doing it, and where you did it. And I don't see where you did it. I don't see how you did it. And I don't really see the reason or result of it. So that is what you need to do to fix this stuff if you want to get into one of the hardest markets we've had in the last decade, which really any other industry I'd probably recommend doing it. But if your heart's set on it, then good for you. You're going to struggle. Next resume. This is a resume of no, stop it. You are not a back-end oriented full stack engineer. You are a back-end engineer with a little bit of full stack, or a full stack engineer that can focus. So I understand the focus, but it's still going to be the title of full stack software engineer. I still need to see this. So maybe what you're looking for is not full stack. Maybe you're looking for more back-end with a smidge of full stack. But this is the full stack qualifications. Oh man, my voice is destroying me today. Degree, TypeScript, JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, GraphQL, SQL, API, RESTful API, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, cross-functionally, and then one of those backend and a bonus points for architecture, extra language to Git. Can I find it in 20 seconds? I don't know, maybe. Let's go. Okay, degree, good. Formatting, awful. Okay, clean code, C++, Python, what? TechCrunch. Okay, JavaScript, HTML, CSS, good. CI/CD, okay. Ah, this is hard to read. You have some of it. This is a terrible format. The bullet points aren't bad, actually. Yeah, the bullet points are okay. The formatting's awful. This is real hard to read. This actually might be a case of your formatting's worse. Like, if you fix the formatting, that's mostly all you need to do. Some of the bullet points are mid, but, like, you at least get the core of it, which is what I'd like. And again, I'd always rather someone have bad formatting than bad bullet points, because you can get interviews with bad formatting. You can't get interviews with bad bullet points. All right, I've gotten a bunch of online assessments for various roles, but I'm not sure whether to count mine to my ratio. Kind of. I've also gotten no actual interviews. Well, then, okay, no. I'm a senior undergraduate student hoping to get into repeatable big tech. My end goal is to go into AI research or quant roles, but at this point, I believe my resume is more suited for full stack. Yeah, I actually see that for full stack. So I'm applying for that. Also, you can probably see from my resume, I spent a lot of time in Japan and fluent in Japanese. You have? I didn't even see any of that on your resume. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I didn't even look, bro. That's not relevant at all. It is good. Sorry, I will say speaking another language is always relevant. I did not, but you being in Japan or not is not relevant. I didn't actually see that part. Let's see. So I'm applying to jobs in both countries. I have no idea what the Japanese job market is. But I'm an American citizen. Lastly, I'd love to hear your advice about networking. How should I reach out to recruiters and make my sales stand out? Is it even worth it? No, it's not. Don't. Please don't. I get like 2 to 3 of those a day when the job market is bustling, and I've never been able to place somebody with it. You don't reach out to recruiters. They reach out to you, and I don't mean that to be mean. I'm saying, like, you're wasting your time because we need a role for it. Like, if you see a recruiter post a role and you apply for that role, and you haven't had feedback in about a week, go ahead and reach out to us about that role. That's fine. But cold outreaching for us is not networking. That's actually going to upset us, because what we want is for you to go through the systems we set up, primarily through the ATS, or maybe if they don't have one, which is rare, they're going to be going through like just a regular email. And you trying to skip the line is going to really just annoy us more than anything else. And even then, most of the time when people send me resumes, it's like, I can't help you. I don't have a role, right? Like, I got people that are like, hey, here's my mechanical engineering resume. I'm like, I don't have any open roles for that. Here's my Salesforce. I'm like, I don't have any roles for that. Well, I do have one for Salesforce right now, but before that, prior, like, here's my back end software engineer. I'm like, cool, you're not in the right state. This is an on-site role. So I would not reach out to us unless you want to get feedback about a week after you've applied and it's a job you're really excited about, because it's just not going to be helpful. There's nothing we could really do. That's not networking. Networking is when you previously have known somebody and it's something you do before you actually you start a job. Like, before you need help through networking, you have needed to network. Networking is somebody that has seen your work and said, oh, wow, yeah, I'd love to move them forward. And they know the hiring manager or know somebody that knows the hiring manager. If it's not those two things, it's not worth it. So a lot of people try to like cold network, and it's like that's not networking. That's not what networking is. I have like worked with other people throughout my career, and if I saw them post a job that I wanted to join, I'd be like, hey, Bob, you remember me from Bob Areno's Bob Arene store? We worked together for that. I submitted my application for this. Is there anything that you think I should do to get seen? And they'd be like, oh, Lee, I loved working with you. Yeah, let me move you forward. That kind of thing. Or, Lee, why did you apply to a role that was a mechanical engineer? You are a recruiter. So, which even I have made that mistake once. So, that was a long time ago, though. So, yeah, that's not networking. You have to previously have known somebody from these previous things. That's networking. All right, so your big problem is formatting. This is really, 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 really hard to read. I don't know what you did to mess this up, because this is your formatting. This is my formatting. I think it's the font is wrong, and this is why I tell people to use this font. Again, it's this. This is how you do it. Oh, it's the coloration of the font, maybe? But anyway, this is how you do it. It should look like this. Your font is bad. And then we get down to here, and your bullet points are mid. Like, I want you to rewrite these. Instead of run weekly seminars emphasizing clean code, I just want you to say, used Python, C++, and X to run competitive coding seminars. That's all I need. I don't know what clean code is. I've gotten plenty of software engineers. I don't know what clean code is. Everybody focuses on it. I've never heard a single hiring manager ever care about clean code. Like, shipped a manifest v Chrome extension. Okay, again, too many words here. With AI translation, that's good. And spaced repetition, don't know what that is. 100 installs in a month, don't care about. But, grant funded investor back, it is something they would want to see about. So, front end in blah, blah, blah for automated builds. This is okay. I would have preferred you just said created a Chrome extension using JavaScript, HTML, CSS, and CI/CD, which was it involved AI translation and got funding at TechCrunch or something. So your bullet points are a little too technical, but I will say this is not a delete it and delete it. There's some good core stuff you have there. So fix your bullet points, fix your formatting, and you should stand a much better chance, at least in the US. I have no idea what the Japanese job market is like. Next, resume. This is a mechanical engineer intern. So for bachelor's interns, again, masters require a little bit more. We need degree, basic knowledge of the industry. In this case, SolidWorks, CAD, documents, industry. So, like, was it electrical engineering? Was it tractors? Was it aerospace? Was it cars? That kind of thing. And then what you worked on in that niche of the industry. So, like, was it airplane engines or car wheels or electrical circuit boards kind of thing? I need to know specifically what you did with those because they're going to like that. And then Microsoft Office, yes, you need it. And Revit 3D. Ability to work well with others and takes direction and criticism. If you don't got that, you probably won't move forward. So, let's see. And, what was their ratio? I should probably look at the ratio firstly. Don't know. All right, well, that was worthless. Please do your best to give me the ratio. And go. Okay, education, good. Too long. Can't use anything here. Okay, designed a 6-DOF controller. I don't know what that is. Nope, don't know what that is. Clamping mechanism, SolidWorks at least. SolidWorks you already stated. I don't know what you did. I mean, you did SolidWorks at least, and that's it. That's really all the time I have, and this would be a yeet and delete. There's nothing here that shows me that you've done mechanical engineering, because I don't know what you've done, because you're assuming that the person reading this has the same degree, and that is not the case. Even the manager may not fully know what you've done, because I've seen managers reject candidates like this all the time. So, what did you write me? Reasons for different GPAs, I didn't even notice. Is because I started college during COVID and transferred, and then I've gotten straight A's. I haven't been focused as much on getting internships and will like advice. Yeah, you don't need 2 of these. This is just more confusing. Just put 1 of these. Just put 3.9 or 3.7. I don't overthink this, and if they ask, they say, well, current college, yes, but during COVID it was this, and I didn't know which to put. And you can even explain that to them in the interview. But a bigger issue is that your bullet points are bad, and your formatting is bad, and there's nothing salvageable about this resume. Again, use this. This is the formatting you want. I swear to you it's better. Then delete this, doesn't matter. Delete this. Again, skill sections don't matter. I cannot use anything in the skills section. If it's in a skills section, it might as well not exist. And yeah, so you don't want that. Then we get down to here. And what is a 6-DOF controller? How is that related to... In fact, I don't even know what this was, right? What is spherical wrist joints? This is the problem. What is the haptic feedback device? That part Lee does know, but is lowering his intelligence for this because they may not know what haptic is. Because I actually don't know what UR3 manipulator is. And it's entirely likely that the person reading your resume is working in multiple industries. I had 35 requisitions on average that I was working on, and only 12 of those were in the same industry. Everyone else was in a different job. So you cannot assume they know this. What is this? Was this a robot? I don't know. You didn't say it. If it's robotics, I'd like to know. Because if you're a robotics company, that'd be good. Then here, what is a clamping mechanism? Why do I care? Why do I care that you achieved force? I don't, because you didn't tell me. It is good that you did verify through SolidWorks, but I want you to instead say created a robot that could clamp things, created bender unit, right? Using SolidWorks, Revit 3D, and blank, and then created the robot, used I don't know, a common robot creation tool to make its pneumatic cylinders. Like, you've written this that somebody needs to be a PhD in your industry to understand. Nobody is. I need you to write this. In fact, you have this, right? I don't know. I don't know if this is your parents, your grandparents, your partner, your uncle, your aunt, your siblings. You know somebody that they say, "Oh, what do you do, Billy?" And you're like, "Well, I'm a mechanical engineer." Like, "Oh, can you fix my toaster?" And like, "Well, I actually work with fluid dynamics and electrical circuits, so maybe I could do part of it if it's electrical, but you're mechanical. You can fix my toaster." You need to write your resume for that person, because this is incomprehensible. It has absolutely nothing I need besides SolidWorks. You also mentioned it way too many times in the same job, which, to be clear, mentioning it here is good. Mentioning it again in the same project is bad. Mentioning it here and here is good. So again, you don't want to double up on the keyword in the same job. You do want to put it in other jobs or projects, though. But yeah, this is incomprehensible, and this is why you're struggling. This is the stuff I actually care about. Like, none of this stuff besides SolidWorks. And people are not going to know what it is. I guess it's robotics because you put robots here, but they're not going to know that. So simplify it for an audience that does not understand what you do. And again, it could even be the hiring manager. Sometimes hiring managers are non-technical. Sometimes the hiring manager is the first line of defense for the rest of his team because he doesn't want them to waste their time or their time, and their job is to basically screen them in the first place, and sometimes that can happen. So that's all I can do for this. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Send it to your friends and family that need help. And if you ever need more help, you can join my live stream every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST on twitch.tv/headlessheadhunter, because your path to a job starts here, and I'll see you in the next video.